Hey guys, welcome to Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. Welcome to the 2018 season. We are excited about this new upcoming year. During this off season, we're going to give you a few reviews on some products that we use at the ranch, and just wanted to pass off this information to you. So there's several things we're going to be reviewing. Today we're going to be reviewing the Browning Strike Force H50 HD trail camera. And this trail camera, actually, I've been using all deer season, 2017 season. I got a couple of these brand new from Cabela's at probably about March or April of last year. So I've been using them all through the summer, in the spring and summer, and then into the fall. And so I got a good handle on these cameras right here. And so I'll give you a thorough review on that today. We're also going to be reviewing some broadheads as well as some other products like some cleaning knives, things like that. And so we're gonna give you these coming through over the next couple of months or so. Not sure how quickly I can get to all these videos, but we're going to give it a try. We also, at the ranch, we always have axis deer to hunt, because in Texas the season never ends. So Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal continues to film our hunts, and we'll give you whatever that we get. We've been catching a few axis deer, especially this last time. I've been out there one time since whitetail season ended, and caught a nice axis buck on the camera. And so he's hanging around. Hopefully we can get him down sometime in the next 2 or 3 months, but we'll see what happens. And then there's always a straggler or two that comes in. Any doe that are there, or young bucks, we take those as well, just because there's an abundance of axis deer. If we don't keep them numbers in check, we'll get in trouble with our deer numbers being out of whack. But anyways, and there's always other exotics that we can hunt, so stay tuned for some great hunting action on Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. And today we got this review on the Browning Strike Force H50 HD, so stay tuned.
Red is the color of the trail of success for the hunter who has put in the time and effort to make it happen. And red is the color of grace for the Savior who suffered and died in our place so we could be forgiven.
Okay guys, here is the camera, and I'm going to give you a close-up look at this and show you how all these settings work. Just my quick impression on this camera. First of all, it's a great camera for about $130, $140. I got this one with my Cabela's points from Cabela's for I think $139, something like that. It's a little bit pricier than most cameras, but my object was to find a 5-star camera that works really well. And this one actually fits the bill for me. So let me show you this camera real quick. First of all, when you pull it out of the box, of course, you're going to have to put the batteries in. It takes actually 6 batteries. You can see right here, 6 AA batteries. And very easy to slip it in. You all know how to do that. You don't need me to tell you how to do that. But this camera is actually very, very intuitive, very easy to understand. And that's what I like so much about this camera, is that you'll see the button only has one turn-on button. A lot of cameras will have like sometimes 2, sometimes 3 different settings to turn on. This one only deals with one setting. So let me make sure this thing's going to focus in there good. And when it lights up, I've got it set, of course, you can see on the trail camera mode, which is what I use about probably 95 to 98% of the time. I'm mainly got it on the trail camera mode because that's what I'm interested in seeing, is just what kind of bucks are coming in to the area, to my area. Then when you turn the camera on, you can get into the mode to set everything. Right now it's set for trail camera. But you get into mode, then you set up the time and the date by simply hitting, you hit the mode button to get to the to the next sections, excuse me, the arrow up and arrow down will help you get real quickly to the different settings that are on the camera. I'm going to go through these in a minute. And then in order to change the settings, you're going to hit the enter button. Like to change the settings of the date, you just hit the setting, enter, and then the arrow right, arrow left button. And you can set that. That's actually set correct right now. So you can see the time and the date. When you're finished, hit the enter mode again, and it goes out. And then arrow up, arrow down. The next setting is going to be the operational mode. So on trail camera, hit enter if I want to change that. And I go arrow up and down to either time lapse or video. Okay, so there's 3 modes on this. There's the trail cam, which is what I use most of the time, the time lapse, and also the video. I'm going to show you some sample video of all of those on my computer in just a minute. So I'm going to leave that on trail cam mode. Going down again, arrow down, photo quality. When you enter, there is the photo quality. The options are 4 megapixel is actually 2 megapixels low. So let's go from the low, 2 megapixels low, 4 megapixel, 8 megapixel, and then also the highest quality is ultra, which is 16 megapixel. Now 16 megapixel, I usually leave it on 4, because all I'm wanting to do is just know what's on my camera, and I leave my camera sometimes 2 and 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks at a time on my property. So, and I've got a 32 gigabyte SD card in here. So I'm going to hit enter. That's what I want. Then the video quality is ultra or low. Ultra is going to be 780p, which is high definition, but it's not really the higher definitions of video. So you got high and ultra, the choice between those two. I'm going to leave it on ultra, because if I do use it, I want the best video it's got. Video length 10 seconds. You can choose from either 10, 5, or 2 minutes, or 1 minute, or 30 seconds. So you see those there. I'm going to leave it on 10 seconds because that's usually what I like. And then scrolling down again, picture delay, you got 1 minute. I usually don't like my delays to be that long, so I'm going to put it on 30 seconds. But you got 1 minute, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and 60 minutes. That's a lot for a delay, but 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, and 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and 5 seconds. So I'm going to leave it on 30 seconds because that's about what I like. Hit enter. Going down, we got the multi-shot modes. I've got that off. You can set it to multi-shots here, like 8 shots in a row, 7 shots, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I think it's just down to 2 shots, and then off, I believe, is the next one. Next is multi-shot. Go to temperature and units Fahrenheit. So you can change that to Fahrenheit or Celsius. If you're in Europe, you're going to want Celsius. If you're in America, you're going to want Fahrenheit. Push enter. And then camera name, you can name the camera just by, I've got it camera 1, and that's what it comes standard. I usually don't name my cameras, but you can just name it by scrolling up or down to change the letters there. You can see how I changed them up and down. I'm going to leave it at camera. Okay, next is the image data strip, and this is the strip that's at the bottom that gives you all the bottom of the picture, that gives you all of the information like date, time, and temperature, all that important information. I'm leaving that on, but you can actually turn that off. I guess there might be some functions you might want it off, but if you don't need that information, maybe you're not a hunter and you're using this, but as a hunter you're probably going to want to leave that on so you have all that information. Know when to get out there and get in the blind. Motion test is this just tests the motion tells you whether it's on or off or whether the motion is working. The default settings, you can hit that and it'll go back to the default settings. Time lapse frequency, you can set it for, I had it set on 1 minute. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I took some time lapse recently for this. 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I believe it's almost the same setting. So 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then 60 minutes. So it has the same as the still shot function. And I'm going to leave it on 30 seconds. Actually, 1 minute. That's what I usually put it on if I'm doing time lapse. This has a cool function on the time lapse. You can set it at, I believe it's 2, 3, and 4 hours, and excuse me, 1 hour. You got an all-day setting for time lapse. Then you have a 1 hour setting, which is 1 hour after sunup, or not sunup, but excuse me, when it gets light enough, the camera itself will recognize when 1 hour is into light enough to where the camera can take it. It'll take time lapse for an hour in the morning and evening, or 2 hours in the morning and evening, or 3 hours, or 4 hours in the morning and evening, and then you have the all-day function. But I'm going to leave this on the 3 hour setting. That's just what I had it on before. And then next is the Smart IR video off. You can turn the IR video on to capture that if you want. Then you have SD management off. I don't need that function. And then you got delete all, and then video in and out. Usually the best, easiest way to do that, to deal with the video or whatever, is just take the card out and stick it in your camera slot, or excuse me, your computer slot. That's the easiest way to do it. But it does have functions where you can go in and out, which is right here on the bottom, if you can see that. It's got a USB function and then a TV in and out, which I have never used those functions. I just pull the card out, so much easier. Then you got software upgrade, in case there's ever a software upgrade that needs to take place, and then you're back to the setting. So you can see this is very intuitive, very easy to use. So let's look at some video and pictures, images, as well as the time lapse, and then I'll give you my final evaluation. Okay guys, we're going to start with the time lapse mode because it's just easier for me to deal with it with my computer here. As you can see, I got a Mac, but one of the drawbacks to Browning is that they don't have a Mac version. So as always, it takes a Mac computer to run Windows properly. So haha. So we're gonna I've actually got Parallels on here so I can run Windows. But basically what you do is you'll get these little files. These, I don't know if you can see those little files there on the computer. These are time-lapse files, and you just drag them and drop them into here and it'll read them. And then you can actually play it. I don't know why it's not playing here, but I just like to drag it anyways. You grab this little knob here and you can drag until it looks like it started taking pictures too early. It was still trying to figure out what was daytime and what was nighttime. So these are set at 1 minute apart. So you can see how it's taking pictures at 1 minute intervals on February 6th. I actually did not have any deer come in on this to be able to give you the time lapse on it. But you can see me walking across there. Let me try to get this a little bit wider so you can see it, if I can actually see if I can. Whoop, won't make it wider. Does this have a full screen mode? I do not see a full screen mode. That's kind of irritating. It may be on there, but I don't see one. I'm trying to drag it wider. Anyways, don't know how to run Windows. But you can drag it with this little bar, and this is very helpful for seeing entry and exit points for deer. If you're hunting over like a food plot, this is a pretty good function for your camera to have. So it'll take these images for you on a time lapse. Next is the still images. As you can see from the still images, they take really good pictures. I have not done any color correction on these images, so you kind of see what takes place. One of the things that I did notice about the still images is that you know, when you get like fog or real moist mornings, a lot of times the screen will be covered over, which is kind of irritating, but I don't think that's really a camera function. It's just more the issue of the lens fogging over, which happens with a lot of cameras anyways. At least all the cameras I've ever had do that on foggy mornings. But nighttime images are really good, as you can see as well. And one last thing, these last two pictures here, it says a 0.4 trigger speed, and this thing is really fast. This doe right here, coming up right there, is one I shot, and you can see the arrow just passed through her as she's ducking. And then of course this bird flying away is pretty cool. The image captured that one as well. So the video quality is not that great. It's 720p. It's the very first high definition that came out. So I would definitely say it's not professional level quality, but it's reasonable. I mean, if you like to do video, I'd mainly use mine for still images. Nighttime's pretty good as well. This next one, my friend actually shoots this turkey. If you look on the far right-hand side of the screen, that far turkey, Tom over there, gets an arrow, and then he goes to go retrieve it right there. And then he actually bagged that turkey last year. If you want to watch that video, you can watch it from last spring on my channel. So anyways, let me give you a summation of this. All right, guys, let me give you my final evaluation for the Browning Strike Force 850 HD camera. Overall, I'd give this camera a 5-star rating. This is a great camera, very reliable. It's going to last you a long time in the field. In my opinion, you really can't go wrong with this camera. As far as the ease of use, you saw it on the screen there. It's very intuitive, very easy to scroll through the menu to get where you need to go. The mode, enter button, very easy to get to, as well as the arrows up and down, and only one off and on switch. Not like 3 or 4 on a lot of cameras, like this this Moultrie M888 camera has, like, if you notice on this one, it has 3 different switches you can switch it up to, and half the time I don't even know what half those mean, so it's difficult to get to. But very intuitive to use. The still pictures on this are great. What you're seeing on the camera or on the video is about 4 megapixel that I leave it on, because sometimes I'm gone from the property at weeks at a time. I don't want to fill up my cards with 16 megapixels. But those are some pretty good images for just 4 megapixel images. Also, the video is, I'd give it a, the still pictures I'd give it a 5-star. Video I'd give it a 3-star, because this is only 720p, which is HD video, but you've got 2 higher functions. You've got 1080p as well as 4K, and those are the 2 higher ones. But so the video does well. I mean, if you like to take video of animals, it works okay, but it's just not the greatest video. It's definitely not professional level quality. The time-lapse function works great. I don't see any problems there. If you have food plots, this is going to work really well for you. The one bad thing I can say about the camera is this camo, whatever this camo dipping process they use, this camo is not going to last on here very long. Even in the shade, it's going to fade in time pretty quickly. I've got one of these at my property that's in direct sunlight. The other one gets sunlight, but not all day. One of them is almost completely white, and it got that way after about 4 or 5 months of sitting in the sun. The other one, it's almost white, but the camo is not going to last very long. But it doesn't affect the functioning of the camera, so for me that's not really a big deal. And then the last thing is the batteries. There's 6 batteries in this thing, as I showed you already. But these batteries last a long time. I get about 4 months out of 6 AA batteries, as compared to the Moultrie M888. This thing has 8 batteries. Well, it takes 8 batteries. I got 6 in there now, but this takes 8 batteries, and out of the 8 batteries in this camera, I get about 3 months. So very, very good time for the batteries that you get here. All right, I hope you enjoyed that review. Be sure and give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll get you any future videos that come out. You'll get notification of that. Also, check out our website, bowhuntingradnek.com. That's RadNek. And we've got some products up there that are discounted. These are genuine products, that they're not cheap China knockoffs that are being sold today all over the place. And by the way, please don't buy those. Those are we don't want to aid and abet those who break the law and hurt the archery industry and hurt American jobs. So please buy genuine. But we'll only sell on our website genuine products at discounted rates, some high quality products. So be sure and check out our website. You can also access our videos on the website as well. So this is the Bowhunting RadNek for Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. Thank you for watching.